In this video, we'll be looking at solving two-step equations. In the last video, we looked at one step and remembering the scale to keep both sides balanced. In this case, we're going to have two steps to do in each equation instead of just one. So we're going to begin the same. We're going to identify our left side and our right side by drawing a long line down the equal sign. So we have the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation. And our goal is still to get the variable, aka the letter, by itself, x in this case. So we're going to begin these problems by getting rid of the pluses or the minuses. So in this case, we have to get rid of the plus 3. And you have to ask yourself, well, what's the opposite of plus 3? Well, minus 3 to both sides. So 3 minus 3 is 0, so it goes away. And you're left with 2x equals 7 minus 3, which is 4. Now this looks like just a one-step equation. 2 times x equals 4. Well, how do we undo multiplication? Division. Divide both sides by 2. So x equals 4 divided by 2 is 2. On this problem, it's going to be the similar process, but with different adding and subtracting values. So we got negative 3 times x minus 6 equals 12. Well, the opposite of a minus 6, because we always do the pluses or minus first, is plus 6. So we do plus 6 to both sides. So that goes away. So you're left with negative 3x equals 18. Now, how do you get rid of negative 3 times x? Well, you divide both sides by just negative 3. Cross out the negative, cross out the 3, so you're left with x equals 18 over negative 3 is negative 6. Okay, let's come over here to this one. Line down the equals. The opposite of minus 17 is plus 17 at both sides. So negative 5x equals negative 20. And once again, you divide by whatever's in front of x. So x equals, negative over negative is a positive, so 4. And one more like that. Draw the line down the equal sign. To get rid of minus 5, you do plus 5 to both sides. So negative 3x equals 22. Divide by negative 3. And you get x equals, 3 doesn't go into 22. So you just leave it as negative 22 over 3. We like to put the negatives in the top if we have a negative. It's just proper notation. So that's actually your answer when you don't have the denominator that can go in the numerator. You leave it as an improper fraction. All right, let's move over to the fractions now, because those are always more fun to do, right? So we got to move the minus 7, so plus 7 to both sides. Same process to start off with, that's no different. So you get 2/3 x equals 16. Now this looks like the problems we did on the other video. We just need to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which in this case is 3 over 2. 3 over 2. So 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 over 6 is 1. So x equals 16 times 3, 48 over 2. So x equals 24, because 2 goes into 48 evenly. All right. Now this one looks a little weird because we got the x on the right side. But in reality, it doesn't matter. It's actually the same type of problem. So let's move the negative 4. Well, to move a negative 4, you do plus 4 on both sides. Negative 8 plus 4 is still negative 4. And you get negative 4 over 5x. Well, as we learned before, we multiply by the reciprocal. So 5 over negative 4 on both sides. 5 over negative 4. So 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. So that's just 1. Negative 20 over negative 20 is 1. Here we get 5 times negative 4, negative 20, over negative 4. The negatives cross out, so you're left with x equals 420 goes 5 times. Okay, pause the video, try these 6 problems out. They're similar to the last ones, and see what you can do with them. All right, let's give them a try. Draw the line, get rid of plus 3, do minus 3. So 4x equals 12. Divide both sides by 4, so x equals 3. Do the line. To get rid of minus 5, you add 5 to both sides, so negative 7x equals 28. Divide by what's in front of x, which is negative 7, so x equals negative 4. Draw your line. To get rid of minus 12, you do plus 12 on both sides, so negative 2x equals negative 24. Divide by negative 2 on both sides, so x equals positive 12. Get rid of a minus 5, you add 5 to both sides. Negative 4x equals 17. Divide by negative 4. So you get x equals, just negative 17 over 4 because it doesn't reduce. All right, on to the fractions. Draw the line. Add 7 to both sides. So 5 over 6x equals 15. Multiply by the reciprocal now, because that's what we do to get rid of the fractions. Cancels out, so you get x equals 15 times 6 is 90. Divide by 5. And 5 goes into 90 18 times. And finally here, with the backwards problem, to get rid of a minus 2, you add 2 to both sides. Negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8. 8 over 9x. Multiply by the reciprocal. Cancels. So you're just left with x. Negative 8 times 9 is negative 72 over negative 8. The negatives cancel, and 8 goes into 72 9 times. Hope you did well on those.